not the nicest place. It's not the worst place. But if you're looking for a place to just come use the pool, the facilities, have access to the beach, which is pretty nice, all they ask is that you buy a couple drinks. And we definitely bought a few drinks, so. Hey everybody, it's Alex from Alex and Erika's channel, and we're back to make another video. And today we're going to talk about Mazatlán and how it is also one of the typical ports that you visit on a 7-day Mexican Riviera cruise. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of everything we like to do when we visit Mazatlán. So be sure to check out this video. The other thing too to keep in mind is watch this entire video, because I'm going to give you a whole breakdown of different things to do that I think are very important, and I'll give you some tips along the way that can help you save some money. And also be sure to like, share, subscribe if you haven't been here before. We love making videos about people going on cruises, specifically about different destinations you're going to visit and things that we think you'll find useful for going to that particular location. So be sure to subscribe and share this video with your friends. If you saw our video about Puerto Vallarta, I gave you a quick little rundown and some important information. So I won't go into everything because it would be good for you to go back and watch that video. If you're going on a 7-day Mexican Riviera cruise, chances are you're going to Cabo, Mazatlán, and Puerto Vallarta. And in the Puerto Vallarta video, I went into a lot of details about various things about ship time, pesos, other important items to keep in mind. So right now I'm just going to focus on Mazatlán and what we typically do when we go to Mazatlán. So the nice thing about going to Mazatlán is that you pull right up to the pier and you'll walk right off the ship. It is kind of cool. It has a very scenic entry as you come in to the pier. So if you have a balcony cabin, or if you're up a little early, walk out on deck specifically to the front of the ship. I love if we're in a balcony cabin in the back, I typically will walk up to one deck above the bridge. On most cruise ships, the deck above the bridge has a just fantastic vantage point. And I think as you walk in, you'll see Stone Island on the right. It's not really an island, it's a peninsula. I'll talk a little bit about that later. And then the cool thing is that you typically come in, a lot of times the cruise ship will do a 180-degree turn, and then they'll just pull right up to the pier. Sometimes they'll do that 180-degree turn when you're leaving, but it depends. It depends on the conditions and what the wind expectations will be earlier in the day versus later in the day. It's a large port. There's plenty of services there depending on what you need, but they do use a tram service. So when you walk off the boat, you'll get into a tram. It's kind of like those trams that you'll see at Disneyland that take you to your parking lot. They just don't want people walking through the pier because it's a big industrial pier. So on the west coast of Mexico, this is where a lot of the imports come in from various parts of the world, and so there's a lot of containers there, you'll notice. But typically you'll have 1-2 cruise ships in town or in port on a day that you visit. Sometimes you'll have 3, and if that's the case, I have noticed when there's 2, especially 3 cruise ships in port, the tram service can slow down a little bit. So be patient. And but it is pretty efficient. They can usually put 150 people on each tram, and then get you out to where you can walk out to the streets. So once you take the tram, they'll drop you off there inside the terminal area. There is a lot of shops. There's a lot of indoor shopping there. Mazatlán is probably one of the better ports to do your shopping, because if you're looking for those souvenirs, Mazatlán, Puerto Vallarta are probably going to be your 2 cheapest places to buy those items. Immediately when you arrive, there's going to be a lot of vendors, just like your other ports of call. There's always going to be vendors that are trying to sell you tours, and hopefully this video gives you an idea so you can make some plans in advance and be prepared and know what to do. And I'm going to give you a couple different options. I'll give you some items that are a little bit more budget friendly, and then I'll give you a breakdown of what we typically do, which is still very budget friendly, and it's a lot of fun. When you exit the terminal right there, you'll notice to the left there's an OXXO. An OXXO is basically just like a 7-Eleven in Mexico. It's very common. One of the most budget-friendly things you can do is basically do the blue line walk. And you'll notice on the streets there's actually a blue line that is painted throughout the street. And you can basically just walk that line. So a lot of people refer to it as the blue line walk, and you can walk that for several miles all around, and you'll get a pretty good scenic tour of Mazatlán. And it's something that A, isn't going to cost you any money, and B, it's going to be just a good way to get outside and explore and check out some of the beautiful sights that Mazatlán has to offer. And in general, Mazatlán is pretty cheap. So if you do want to do a tour, you can do that. But along the blue line, you'll notice that there's various restaurants, there's various places where you can go buy, seafood carts on the street. Don't be scared. A lot of those seafood carts, if you look them up on Google, they'll have reviews, and there's a couple that you'll see in our video that we go to that are really, really good. They look like little hole in the wall spots. So you can find some really cool spots out there, and some great places to eat seafood. The other thing you can do is go out to Stone Island, which is very popular. It's very affordable. In the description of this video, I mentioned there's a link to our website, and I'll put in there instructions about how to do that. $2 boat ride to go to Stone Island, and you can literally just walk down to the end of the pier, exit to the street, and then walk down that street, and then you'll see there's actually a steady flow of people. And when you're walking out the pier terminal, if you just ask a few people like, hey, you going to Stone Island? They're like, yeah, we're going to Stone Island. Just say, hey, can I tag along, because it's like my first time going. You're gonna find plenty of people that are going out that way, and you can just tag along with them. It's a fun spot to go. Typically in the pier, they're gonna try and sell you like an excursion, like basically $30 to $40 a person, where you can go, you can have access to like the bar, you can get like drinks, you can have access to like the water sports, the banana boat, depending on what you want to do. My suggestion is just to go over to Stone Island, spend the $2, take the little, I'm forgetting the name of the boat, but it's a little water taxi that takes you over there. And then once you're there, get a feel for like the vibe and the energy and what's going on, because there are quite a few bars and restaurants along the beach there. And then just kind of just play it by ear. Kind of go and look for the places that are popular, that seem to be getting more energy, more action, and that's going to probably be your best bet. And then most of those places are going to basically provide you like a chair, an umbrella, if you consume like $20 worth of food, and then they'll have water sports. There's going to be guys on the beach if you want to do a jet ski, if you want to do a banana boat or parasailing or whatever it is. But going out to Stone Island is always a good time. And it's kind of like going to Port Mazatlán. It's like when you go to Los Muertos Beach. You can go out there and you can spend very little money. You can spend $2 to go out there on your water taxi, and then $2 to return and take your cruise ship towel and just hang out and have a good time. Or you can spend more depending on how much you want to drink and eat. Or maybe when it comes to water activities, depending on what you want to do. So it's what you want to make of it. But it's a great time. It's a fun little spot to go to. And it's just an easy, quick little thing to do if you're not sure what to do. You don't need to have any plans or make any advanced reservations. You can just go. And then lastly, what we typically do is we do a tour with a friend that we met a few years ago. His name is Julian. And be sure to watch the entire summary of some of these highlights, because I'm going to give you a little tip. If you mention this video, he's going to hook you up with a little discount or some preferred treatment. You'll see in Mazatlán there's a lot of red trucks, and a lot of these red trucks have open air beds in them, where they have like 2 bench seats on each side, and you can fit like 8 people pretty comfortably. You could go with 10 if you wanted to, but like 8 people is like a good comfortable fit. Everybody's gonna have plenty of space, and it's a good time. And the thing that's nice with Julian or anybody else is that they can kind of customize your day depending on what you want to do. And they can set that up, and that tour will basically cost like $20-25 a person. It really depends on how many people you have, 25 if you've got 4 people, depending on how many hours, maybe 15-20 if you've got 8. A lot of it just depends on how long you have in port, and then how much you want to do. I'm going to give you a quick little highlight. Watch this footage that I'm about to share with you. This is like a summary of what we did the last time we were in Mazatlán, which was actually about a month or so ago. We had a great time. We went to some seafood places, went to the pool, went to the beach. So watch this video and then check in with me on the back end of this video, because I'm gonna give you a couple tips and a couple things to mention to Julian to make your day a little bit better. What's up, dude? Good to see you. It was crazy. It was
Ethan?
Aiden and Ethan.
And Ethan.
Remember?
Here.
Alright, so we finally got off the ship and we're here in Mazatlán. We made our first stop.
That's cute, right?
Here along the boardwalk. Beautiful. So right here, this is a super cool spot for a photo. Right there. Right. What are you guys thinking? You having fun?
Yes, literally iron.
We're walking around the main square here. Kids are dying to go back to the boat. We told them they have to experience some culture, have some fun. So we've stopped here at one of the famous churches, which is a beautiful church right behind us. The church is closed. It closed at 1. It doesn't reopen until 5, so unfortunately we can't go inside there.
Here, guys. Oh, wow, that's cool.
Wow, look at that, man.
What was it, the birds? What did you say to me?
I don't know, man.
They open with an eye.
So this is the part with each?
Yeah.
No, this part right
No,
here?
inside. No, in the middle.
Inside.
Oh.
How's it looking over here, guys?
Oh, look. We love it.
Scallops.
Nice. Beautiful.
¿Estos son para la diabla o para cómo?
It's all good. I don't even... Maybe.
Style.
The scallop is pretty good. ¿Cómo se llama este?
Mariscos al Parguito.
Mariscos al Parito?
Mariscos al Parguito, Seafood, Mazatlán, Sinaloa. Aquí los esperamos.
Perfecto. And it's cerca de la crucero. So we just finished our tacos. How was the tacos, guys? Yeah, we gotta go back this way, Anna.
Oh, can you hold this one?
We just arrived at Las Flores Hotel. This is our last stop for the day. We've got a couple hours till we need to be back on the ship, so we're gonna hang out here, have a couple tequilas, and go in the pool. Maybe jump in the ocean. Look at the beautiful spot we're at. Look at that, huh? Beautiful Mazatlán. Don't. Sorry. We are just finishing up here at Las Flores, and we are about to head back to the cruise ship. We had a great time. Like, I would say this is like a 3-star hotel, right? It's not the nicest place. It's not the worst place. But if you're looking for a place to just come use the pool, the facilities, have access to the beach, which is pretty nice, all they ask is that you buy a couple drinks. And we definitely bought a few drinks, so we're ready to go back to the ship. That's the tequila dog right there. What are you saying? What are you saying?
Gracias.
Gracias por todo.
No, you know.
Thank you.
I hope see you again.
Oh, we will. We'll see you in next year or so.
Perfecto.
Okay.
Bring Narciso.
Yeah, we will. So that was a recent day that we had with Julian Acosta. He's a fantastic guy, super nice guy. We met him probably 5 years ago when we went to Mazatlán, and we've caught up with him 2 or 3 times since then. And every time we go out, our day is a little bit different, but it's a ton of fun. You can do a city tour, you can go to cathedrals, you can go to the beach, you can go to a resort, you can go eat seafood all day long, or you could just drive around drinking beer or soda or whatever you want to do and just explore Mazatlán. You go up to some really cool vantage points where you get some beautiful views. So the entire day as a whole is just fantastic. So in the description of this video, I'm going to put a link to his Facebook page, and you can message him there, or you can go to his website. Just let him know in advance, because he does get busy. You know, you have a cruise ship coming into port. There's 2,000-3,000 people on a ship, times maybe 2 ships, maybe 3. And then if you do have a larger group, he can accommodate. He can pull in a friend or 2 with an additional truck. So he can accommodate large groups if you have a large group. Let him know you're coming. And if you let him know that you watch this video and that you're friends with Alex, when he picks you up for your tour, he'll have a cooler in the back, and he'll have a 6-pack or a 12-pack of beer in there. And if you don't drink, he'll pick up some waters, pick up some sodas. Just let him know in advance, and he'll hook you up with the first 6-pack of beers when he picks you up. And then as your day goes on, if you want to go out and buy more, get some more ice, then he'll do that as well. But he's a great guy, and he's super fun, and I promise if you go on that tour, he'll customize it to whatever your liking is, and you'll have a fantastic time. The thing that you saw in there also is that we went to a resort. Those resort passes fluctuate quite a bit, and I know you can do a resort pass through the cruise line, and that's always very tempting, but I'll just tell you from personal experience, we've done that a couple times, and both times the tours were just a little disappointing. The alcohol wasn't that great. The food was really not that good. I don't know what it is. Some of these resorts, I feel like they just think that we can just throw a bunch of fried food out there and these Americans are going to be happy. You know, for us, specifically Erika, being from Mexico, you know, she really likes fresh food. She likes fresh seafood. She doesn't like things that are like deep fried. And Mazatlán has some really good seafood if you like seafood. And if you don't like seafood, they have some really good taco shops, as you saw in the video. There's some great places to eat in Mazatlán. So reach out to Julian. He'll take great care of you. And if you found this video helpful, please share it within your Facebook group if you're going on a cruise, or just share it anywhere on social media if you think it would help someone else. If you end up doing a tour or anything within Mazatlán, if you have any feedback, comments, leave it below. And if you have any questions, leave a question below. Like I said in other videos, if this is your first cruise, go on to the cruise, go on with an open mind. I think you'll have a fantastic time. And I think that in general, cruising is just a fantastic way to get out there and explore and see the world. And you can always find some great deals. So the Mexican Riviera is a great option. It's not, I hear this fairly often, it's not the Caribbean water. It's on the wrong side, but you have some fantastic ports, and there's a lot of culture, some great food, and there are some pretty good beaches there, and you have some fantastic people, so you'll have a great time. So again, this is Alex. Hope you're having a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.